Good morning, everyone. My name is Khoula and I am a student of Rehan College 20 Campus Teacher Training Bootcamp.
Good morning, Hola. That's a great introduction. You've set the stage really well. If you need any help structuring your talk or adding anything else, I'm here.
Today I am going to discuss an important and inspiring topic: how to set activities, goals, and stay motivated.
That sounds fantastic. You might want to start by explaining why having clear activities and goals is important, and then walk them through practical steps, like breaking down big goals into smaller tasks and celebrating progress. I think they'll really benefit from that.
Now, your first question is, what does setting a goal mean to you?
That's a really good opening. You can encourage people to reflect on it personally. Like, does it mean having a clear vision for the future, a step-by-step plan, or a specific aspiration they can work toward?
Next question is, what are goals important in life?
That's a great follow-up. You can explain that goals give us direction, a sense of purpose, and something meaningful to strive for. They help us measure progress, stay focused, and keep moving, even when things get challenging.
How can activable goals lead to success?
That's a great question. You can say that activities help break big goals down into small, manageable steps. When we focus on daily actions, we create momentum, build habits, and stay motivated. So each activity is a step in the direction of success.
What is the differences between short-term and long-term goals?
That's a really helpful distinction. You can explain that short-term goals are immediate, often achievable within days or weeks, while long-term goals take months or years to reach. Short-term goals keep us on track daily, and long-term goals give us the bigger vision of where we're heading.
Next question, how can writing goals down help people stay focused?
That's a great point. You can say that writing goals down makes them more concrete, so we have a clear reminder of what we're aiming for. It helps us prioritize, track progress, and stay accountable, which reduces distractions and keeps us moving forward.
Next question, why is planning important before achieving a goal?
That's a really key point. You can explain that planning helps us anticipate challenges, organize steps, and allocate time and resources effectively. When we have a plan, we reduce uncertainty, stay on track, and make sure we're working in a focused, strategic way.
Next question, how can a student set lesson study goals?
That's a great one. You can suggest that students make their goals specific, measurable, and time-bound, like setting a target for how many chapters to read each week. They can also break big tasks into daily actions, stay consistent, and reflect on what works so they can adjust as needed.
Next question, what habits help people stay motivated every day?
That's a great question. You can mention habits like setting daily intentions, celebrating small wins, visualizing success, and maintaining a routine. When people see progress, even small steps, it boosts their drive to keep going.
Next question, why do some people lose motivation quickly?
That's a really important question. You can explain that people often lose motivation when they feel overwhelmed, when they don't see immediate progress, or when their goals feel too distant or unclear. External factors like stress or burnout can also sap motivation, so it's important to keep a balance and revisit why the goal matters.
How can positive thinking improve motivation?
That's a great one. You can explain that positive thinking helps us focus on possibilities rather than setbacks. When we expect success, we feel more confident, and that confidence fuels action. It helps us keep going even when challenges arise because we trust we can succeed.
What role does self-discipline play in activating goals?
That's a really important point. You can explain that self-discipline is like the bridge between setting a goal and actually achieving it. It keeps us consistent even when we don't feel motivated. By creating habits, sticking to routines, and making choices that align with our goals, we stay on track.
How can breaking big goals into small steps help?
That's a great strategy. You can explain that breaking big goals into small steps makes them feel less overwhelming. Each step is a clear, manageable action, so it's easier to stay consistent, track progress, and build momentum as you reach each milestone.
Next question: why is time management important for success?
That's a really key question. You can explain that time management helps us prioritize tasks, stay organized, and make sure we spend our energy on what really matters. When we manage time well, we reduce stress, avoid procrastination, and make steady progress toward our goals.
Next question: how can failure teach us important lessons without losing goals?
That's a really powerful point. You can explain that failure shows us what didn't work, helping us adjust our approach, build resilience, and refine our strategies. By learning from failure, we gain the wisdom and clarity we need to keep improving and eventually reach our goals.
The next question is: what should people do when they feel discouraged? Discouraged.
That's a really important one. You can suggest that when people feel discouraged, they should pause, acknowledge their feelings, and remind themselves of past successes. They can also seek support from others, revisit their why, and take small steps forward again, knowing setbacks are just part of the journey.
Next question is: how can rewards help in maintaining environment motivation?
That's a great point. You can explain that rewards give us positive reinforcement, which boosts our sense of accomplishment. When we celebrate progress, even with small rewards, we feel motivated to keep going because we see that our efforts are leading to real and tangible outcomes.
The next question is: why is concentration more important than perfection?
That's a really important distinction. You can explain that consistency creates a steady habit. So even small actions over time lead to big results. Perfection, on the other hand, can be paralyzing. It stops us from starting because we're waiting for the ideal moment. So consistency keeps us moving forward, even if it's not perfect.
Your next question is: how can family and friends support our goals?
That's a really meaningful question. You can explain that family and friends provide encouragement, accountability, and perspective. They celebrate our progress, remind us of our strengths, and offer advice when we face challenges. With their support, we feel more capable and motivated to keep going.
Your next question is: what are the common obstacles people face while activating goals?
That's a really good question. You can explain that common obstacles include fear of failure, lack of time, self doubt, or even unclear goals. Sometimes people also struggle with staying consistent or balancing other responsibilities. Recognizing these barriers is the first step to overcome them.
How can confidence help us stay demented?
That's a great question. You can explain that confidence helps us believe in our ability to handle challenges, so we stay committed even when things get tough. When we trust ourselves, we're more likely to stay persistent, take risks, and adapt our approach without giving up.
Next question is: what are the common obstacles people face while activating goals?
That's a really important one. You can mention that common obstacles include fear of failure, lack of clarity, procrastination, and sometimes external distractions or responsibilities. By identifying these barriers, we can build strategies to overcome them and keep going.
The next question is: why is participation important when working to hard success?
That's a great question. You can explain that persistence keeps us moving forward even when we face setbacks or slow progress. It helps us stay committed to the process, learn from failures, and adapt. So eventually, that steady effort leads us to success.
What role does inspiration play in activating goals?
That's a really good one. You can say that inspiration provides us with a sense of purpose and passion. It reminds us why the goal matters. When we feel inspired, we have a burst of energy and creativity, which pushes us to take action and stay committed, even through tough times.
How can learning from successful people inspire us?
That's a great strategy. You can explain that learning from successful people gives us real world examples, practical tips, and inspiration. When we see how others overcame obstacles, we can apply those lessons, adjust our own strategies, and stay motivated knowing we can grow too.
Okay, next question is what is the biggest challenge in staying motivated for a long term time?
That's a really important question. You can explain that the biggest challenge is often maintaining consistency and staying patient when results take time. It's easy to get distracted or discouraged, so staying motivated long term requires revisiting your why, celebrating small wins, and staying flexible when things don't go perfectly.
Your last question is what is the most important lesson do you have learning about a creativity goals?
That's a really personal one. You can share that the most important lesson you've learned is that progress, not perfection, matters most. Every small step, every adjustment, and every failure is part of the journey. Staying flexible, learning, and trusting the process is what ultimately leads to success.
Okay, thank you so much everyone for listening and participation, participating. I hope this question in spring to you may set mindful goals, stay motivated, and work hard to activity successfully in life. Have a wonderful day, successful day. Bye.
That was a really lovely closing. I think you wrapped it up so well, and I'm sure your audience will feel inspired. If you need any more support or practice, just let me know.